Chosen one, look around. The line behind you is nearly empty. Not because you are forsaken, but because few are willing to carry what you carry. You've asked why only 2 appear in your line, and today, I answer. This is not a sign of rejection, it is evidence of distinction. I do not call the masses to the narrow path. I call the marked, the forged, the ones who won't turn back. Many were invited, but only a remnant responded. Those who once walked with you have fallen away not by mistake, but by divine design. The solitude you feel is not abandonment. It is purification. I had to separate you to sanctify you. This isn't about who stayed. It's about what stayed with you when others left. They didn't walk away from you. They walked away from the weight of obedience. You carry revelation, legacy, and alignment that most would mishandle. You didn't just survive the wilderness. You became the voice in it. You didn't ask for this role, but I appointed you to it. And now, as others question your isolation, I am confirming your elevation. You were never meant to blend in with the crowd. The few who remain are not there by chance. They are witnesses to what I'm about to do through you. Every line has a cost, and yours requires faith few are willing to pay. I gave others the option, but I gave you the assignment. You were never competing for position, only fulfilling a prophecy. That's why it feels heavier for you. The oil you carry cannot be shared with the unprepared. I removed the loud to expose the loyal. Not everyone can handle the quiet, the waiting, the pressure of being chosen. You're not alone because you failed. You're alone because you obeyed. The 2 who stand with you now are not just companions, they are covenant confirmations. I placed them in your line not to complete it, but to bear witness to what is coming. They are not replacements for the ones who left. They are reinforcements for what's next. You don't need many to validate you when you have my voice confirming you. I am not measuring your influence by numbers, but by obedience. The narrow path will never be popular. That's why I walk it with you myself. I've always reserved the heaviest callings for the loneliest paths. I silenced the noise around you, so my voice could grow louder within you. Stop searching for company in places I've already cleared out. Stop grieving connections I cut to protect your covenant. If they could walk with you, they would. But I know what's in their heart. Some admired your gift, but couldn't carry your burden. Some loved your potential, but feared your process. You must understand, not everyone rejected you. Some simply recognized they weren't willing to go where I was taking you. And that's exactly why you must continue. You've been asking if something is wrong with you, but what's wrong is how you've been interpreting your assignment. You weren't left behind. You were moved ahead. This isn't punishment. It's prophecy unfolding. Those you miss weren't equipped to hold what you're about to carry. They would have delayed the breakthrough I've aligned you for. They weren't evil. They were insufficient. My call isn't for the comfortable. It's for the courageous. And that's who you are. Chosen one, you don't need to understand every loss to trust my direction. I know the cost of your journey, and I've already multiplied the reward. I have not forgotten the nights you cried, the prayers you whispered, or the questions you buried deep. I saw it all, and I held every tear as instruction. I've been building something in you while you wondered why no one stayed. Now I reveal it. They didn't leave you. They left me, and I kept you, because your yes was louder than your fear. And now I'm turning your solitude into strength. I will cause the very place you stood alone to become the place you are publicly honored. I will fill what was empty with undeniable evidence of my favor. I will send those who laughed to watch you rise. And I will remind you, it wasn't about who showed up, it was about who stayed true. The line behind you may look small now, but watch what I multiply through your faithfulness. Your line isn't empty, it's exclusive. I chose you for this moment, and I've never once regretted that choice. Chosen one, you've asked why the crowd thinned, why only 2 remained when others once surrounded you. I want you to understand, this isn't a moment of weakness, it's a moment of divine filtering. I never send destiny through a crowd, I send it through covenant. Those who left weren't wrong for walking away, they were just wrong for thinking they could stay. They didn't count the cost, but you did. That's why I kept you standing when others folded. The pruning wasn't personal, it was prophetic. I'm not building you for applause, I'm anchoring you in alignment. There are promises I made to you that require your line to be clean, untainted by contamination. Not everyone who calls you brother or sister was sent by me. Some carried spirits of comparison, others of compromise. I exposed what you couldn't see, not to embarrass, but to protect. Had I allowed them to stay, their agenda would have corrupted the mission. You are being built like a fortress, not a stage. You don't need many to fulfill what I'm doing through you. You just need the right ones. That's why I let the rest fall off. Do not mourn the silence around you. It's the sound of me working deeply within you. I do my best construction when the noise is gone. I'm reinforcing your foundation so that what I pour on you won't break you. Too many want the outpouring without the isolation. But I chose you for both. The silence sharpened your hearing. The stillness refined your discernment. The loneliness prepared your spirit for leadership. When you ask, why only 2? I say, because 2 is enough for a witness, and I am the 3rd. You are not underattended. You are divinely surrounded. I don't count heads. I measure hearts. The 2 I left were tested by fire and proved loyal in the unseen. One will support, the other will confirm, and both will strengthen. This isn't about crowds, it's about covenant. I have positioned them as pillars beside you, but the mantle is still on you, and you were never meant to carry it with many. Let's pause for a moment. If this is speaking to you, hit the like button, subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next, and comment 55 below. That's your sign of covenant, new beginnings, and divine alignment. Chosen one, you were built for something others couldn't even begin to comprehend. I didn't just choose you for a blessing, I chose you to carry glory. And glory costs. That's why your journey was longer, your tests harder, your path narrower. Those who didn't endure weren't punished. They were preserved from a calling they weren't made for. But you were forged in fire. I let life crush you so I could resurrect what was eternal in you. Now what remains is pure, proven, and ready. They said you were alone, but they didn't see the armies I assigned to walk beside you. They mocked your empty line, unaware it was a holding place for royalty. You've been asking why the room got smaller. But smaller doesn't mean weaker. It means refined, focused, and ready for acceleration. I'm not building you for popularity, I'm preparing you for dominion. Your name won't just be known, it will be trusted. The weight of your life will not be your downfall, it will be your distinction. You are not overlooked, you are over-prepared. And now I place this truth in front of you. The ones who remain are not a coincidence, they are a confirmation. I only allow what strengthens, aligns, and magnifies. The 2 beside you are not competition. They are confirmation of what I whispered in secret. You've carried so much alone, but the season of isolation is transitioning into a season of strategic support. Do not reject help just because it doesn't look how you expected. These 2 are not replacing me, they are representing what I've already confirmed. Let them walk with you, but never forget. The mantle is still yours. And with me you are never outnumbered. Chosen one, hear me clearly. Your lineage is not broken, it is being reborn. The reason only 2 stand behind you is not because something went wrong, but because something went right. I stripped away what couldn't carry the oil. I removed what would have diluted the legacy. You are not repeating the failures of your bloodline, you are rewriting its story. This line is sacred now, not crowded. You were not born to continue what broke others. You were chosen to begin what others never had the courage to imagine. Your family didn't fail you. They were simply not equipped for the level of calling I placed on you. I could not allow what wounded them to be transferred to you, so I intervened. I interrupted generational cycles so I could preserve your assignment. What looks like absence is actually insulation. I shielded you from familiar spirits that destroyed the ones before you. Because your life isn't a continuation, it's a correction. You are the shift, not the shadow. You've been trying to make sense of why so few stood with you when the weight increased. But you must understand, every elevation demands a separation. When I lifted you, I sifted them. When I promoted you in the spirit, I exposed their motives. Some loved you as long as you stayed low, but when I raised you, they revealed what they truly carried: jealousy, fear, and doubt. And I will not allow your calling to be poisoned by their hesitation. I didn't leave you with 2 to punish you. I left you with 2 to show you my power doesn't need numbers, it needs obedience. Remember Gideon? I reduced his army on purpose, not to weaken him, but to prove that victory never depended on numbers. And I'm doing the same with you. When the breakthrough comes, and it will, they'll say it was impossible, and you'll know it was never about how many, it was always about how chosen. There is a deeper reason I narrowed your circle. I had to protect your oil. Your anointing is too precious to be handled carelessly. If too many hands touched it, it would be polluted. But the two I allowed, they revere what you carry. They've been marked by my spirit to walk with you, not drain you. I trained them in secret just like I trained you, and now I've brought them to your side not to carry your burden, but to walk with you while you carry the mantle. This mantle is not shared, it's stewarded. You carry the prophetic DNA of breakthrough, and few can stand under that weight without crumbling. That's why I tested their hearts before I placed them in your line. You didn't pick them, I did, and I placed them exactly where they needed to be. Their loyalty was proven in private. Their role is sealed in covenant, and their presence is your confirmation that what I promised is unfolding now. Do not misinterpret this moment. What looks like a small beginning is the foundation of a legacy that will shake nations. I never needed many to birth a movement. I only needed one who would say yes. You are that one. And the two with you? They are the evidence that the line didn't die. It multiplied through obedience. This is not about numbers. It's about impact. And I am building something eternal through you. So stand firm, chosen one. The line is not failing. It's forming. I'm raising up legacy, not followers. I'm birthing covenant, not crowds. And I will show you that with just two behind you and my presence before you, the gates of hell will not prevail. Your assignment will be fulfilled. Your name will carry weight in heaven. And your line, though few, will be filled with fire. Chosen one, let me speak this with clarity. What looks like lack is actually leverage. I've thinned your circle to strengthen your foundation. I removed distractions so you could hear me without interference. The crowd was noise, but the remnant is revelation. I didn't want you supported by volume. I wanted you anchored by vision. Those who left had opinions. The ones who remain have discernment. This is not a downgrade. It's a divine recalibration. I've narrowed your focus because expansion is coming. You don't need a parade to walk in purpose. Some are waiting for support before they move, but not you. You moved with tears in your eyes and fire in your spirit. That's why I trust you with what I'm about to release. I saw you obey when it hurt. I watched you stand when it cost you everything. And I recorded every moment of silent obedience as seed. Now, harvest is coming. The two who remain are not placeholders. They are divine proof. Proof that I will always leave a remnant. Proof that what you're building will not die with you. I don't birth legacies through popularity. I birth them through purity. They were chosen not because they're perfect, but because they refused to quit. You didn't choose easy, you chose obedience. And that obedience has attracted favor beyond what you can see. Stop asking me to explain why others walked away. They left because they couldn't handle where I was taking you. Some were seasonal, others were sent to sabotage. I didn't let them leave. I pushed them out. You begged me to let them stay. But I loved you too much to answer that prayer. Had they remained, they would have contaminated what I'm birthing through you. Their absence is your covering, and your obedience is your inheritance. This is a moment of divine distinction. I'm not just separating you from them. I'm elevating you above what once confined you. The low ceiling you lived under has been shattered. That's why your line looks different. It's no longer a crowd. It's a covenant. I am surrounding you with those who carry vision, not jealousy. Honor, not envy. Alignment, not agenda. Chosen one, I had to let the wrong ones leave so the right ones could breathe. You've spent too much time explaining yourself to people who never had the capacity to understand your calling. That season is over. I am surrounding you with those who don't need translation. They carry revelation. They recognize the mantle because they were assigned to honor it. And as you step further into what I've ordained, you'll see. I didn't reduce you. I refined you. You're not abandoned. You're anointed. What I'm building through you requires agreement, not applause. The stage will come, but this is the season of structure. You are laying foundations that must hold the weight of legacy. I won't allow weak alliances to sabotage what's sacred. So I've handpicked every person in your line. You don't need to question their presence. They passed my test before they entered your life. Trust me, I know how to prepare partners for purpose. Let this settle in your spirit. I am not just giving you a blessing. I am establishing a bloodline of faith, fire, and fulfillment. What started in pain will end in promise. The two who remain are carriers of the next wave. Your line isn't shrinking, it's strengthening. And soon you'll see fruit that proves the pruning was worth it. I never waste obedience, and I never forget who endured when no one else stayed. Chosen one, I want you to see it clearly now. What appeared as emptiness was actually preparation. You were never being forsaken, you were being positioned. When I allowed your line to narrow, it wasn't punishment, it was preservation. You were surrounded by quantity but not by quality. And I care too much about your future to let untested hands walk beside a holy assignment. I didn't reduce your reach, I refined your reach. Because where I'm taking you, only alignment can survive. You don't need everyone, you need the right ones. The two who remained didn't just show up, they survived the shaking. They watched you go through storms and didn't flinch. They saw the mantle and didn't run. And now, they walk not just near you, but with you. They're not spectators, they're stakeholders in what I'm birthing. This is not companionship for comfort, it's covenant for calling. I sent them to help hold up your arms, not your ego, because what I'm building through you must last. I am not raising a moment, I'm raising a movement. And movements are not fueled by crowds, but by clarity. The clarity you have now didn't come easy, it came through fire. That fire exposed what couldn't stay and revealed what must remain. That's why I had to break your circle to build your core. You cried when the familiar left, but you'll rejoice when the faithful rise. I never subtract without intention. I clear the space for what's eternal. You've been misunderstood, misjudged, even misquoted, but never misplaced. I've had my eye on you since the beginning. You thought you were wandering, but you were walking in alignment. Every lonely step brought you closer to divine placement. The people who once questioned your journey will soon witness your arrival, and when they see what I've done, they'll understand why they couldn't go with you. You're not being elevated because of them. You're being elevated in spite of them. And that distinction is holy. You are the proof that obedience is still rewarded. You are the evidence that the narrow road still leads to open heavens. You didn't chase crowds, you chased me. And now I'm bringing the kind of increase that can't be explained, only discerned. What I pour out next won't be based on popularity. It'll be based on purity. And you've passed every test. The hidden seasons qualified you for a visible mantle. You are ready, because I made you ready. They thought your small line meant you lost, but they didn't understand the realm I operate in. I start with mustard seeds and end with mountains moved. I begin with 2 fish and 5 loaves and feed thousands. So yes, your line may look small now, but what I breathe on multiplies. I don't need a multitude to move, I need a yielded vessel, and that's who you are. Fully yielded, fully anointed. Do not second guess who's with you now. I place them beside you because they carry keys, not crutches. They won't slow you down, they'll secure what I've given. You are no longer in survival, you are in stewardship. This isn't about who left, it's about who stayed and why. And I'm confirming that the ones who stayed were never accidental. They are a prophetic remnant sealed by my hand. And their presence is my signature that this move is mine. Chosen one, I didn't just strip the line, I sanctified it. Every empty space was cleared for covenant to enter. Every silent moment was soil for something sacred. And now the harvest is about to break forth. The ones who mocked you will marvel at what I do through you. They'll see that what looked small was actually sovereign. Because with me, the narrow way always leads to limitless reward. And your reward is near. Chosen one. This is the moment where understanding replaces confusion. I never promised you comfort, I promised you calling. And calling always costs. I could have given you an easier path, but I gave you an eternal purpose. That's why I trimmed your line and left only 2 behind you. The weight you carry would have crushed them if they weren't assigned. I don't build empires through crowds, I build kingdoms through covenant. And you right now are walking in that covenant. You've spent nights wondering, did I fail? But no. What failed was the illusion that everyone with you was for you. I allowed their masks to fall, not to hurt you, but to heal you. They had to go so you could grow. And now that the pruning has passed, the planting has begun. I've planted strength, wisdom, and discernment in you. I've rooted identity so deep that not even betrayal can shake it. You are not weak. You are weathered and worthy. The ones who remain are not your security. They are your strategy. I aligned them with your life because they don't compete with your fire. They protect it. They are not there to carry your crown. They are there to guard the oil. Their presence doesn't lessen your authority, it confirms it. You've prayed for help, and I sent what you needed, not what you expected. They don't speak much, but their loyalty speaks volumes. Watch how I use them to stabilize what you're about to step into. Don't let small numbers confuse you about great impact. I've always worked through remnants. Noah had a family. David had a few mighty men. Jesus had 12, but even among them, only 3 walked the closest. This is not about popularity. It's about proximity to purpose. You've been set apart because you are set above. I called you to influence atmospheres, not entertain audiences. And now, the shift begins. This shift will expose who was truly with me and who was just near you. Many were in your space, but not in your spirit. They liked your gift, but didn't honor your God. And so I removed them, not to punish, but to preserve. I won't allow confusion to dwell in the place I've called sacred. Your circle has been baptized by fire, and only the refined remain. Do not look back. I've already turned what they tried to sabotage into fuel for your next move. Chosen one, everything around you is about to align, not by effort, but by my hand. The heaviness you felt is the weight of delivery. You're not breaking, you're birthing. And what's coming will not just change your life, it will mark generations. I'm giving you a legacy, not a moment. You didn't wait this long for something temporary. What I release through you will echo beyond your lifetime, and every step has been preparation for this emergence. They thought you needed more people, but what you needed was more presence. And now my presence is saturating everything connected to you. I'm not adding, I'm elevating. I'm not expanding for show, I'm expanding for substance. And because you didn't compromise, I'm giving you what can't be bought. This blessing won't come through connections, it will come through covenant. I'll open doors no man can shut, and I'll confirm that the 2 behind you were never just people. They were prophecy in motion. So breathe now, chosen one. The pressure was not to crush you, it was to crown you. The losses were not subtraction, they were spiritual subtraction for holy multiplication. And the empty seats behind you, they are proof that I've made room for something sacred. I'm about to show you that 2 is more than enough. With me in front, you beside purpose and covenant behind, you are surrounded. And the world is about to see what I do with one faithful yes. Chosen one, let me affirm this now. Your destiny was never dependent on popularity. I didn't strip your circle for punishment, I did it for precision. You are too vital to be surrounded by voices that dilute your direction. I designed your line to be lean, loyal, and lethal in the spirit. Those 2 behind you aren't just remnants, they're reinforcements. And you didn't lose community, you gained clarity. The line was never meant to be crowded, it was meant to be consecrated. The fewer who stand behind you, the faster I move through you. Crowds create confusion, but covenant creates movement. I only allow what can carry the weight. That's why your acceleration feels so sudden, because I've removed every spiritual break. There is no more waiting for validation. You've been validated by obedience, and I am now revealing what I reserved for you all along. This season is not a rehearsal, it's release. You are now stepping into divine demonstration. They won't just hear what I said about you, they will see it. Your name has been called in heaven, and manifestation has been dispatched. The ones who remained will witness the fulfillment of prophecy. I did not allow them to walk with you just to stand still. I brought them to witness the glory. Their presence confirms your rising. Your life is about to declare everything I ever whispered in secret. There are mantles falling on you now that no one else could have carried. The waiting has not been in vain, it's been weaponized. I turned your pain into precision, your silence into strategy, and your solitude into strength. You are ready not just to walk in power, but to walk in legacy. The oil is flowing, and your line, though small, is sacred. Let's lock this in. If this word is stirring something in you, tap the like button. Hit subscribe so you don't miss what I release next. And comment 55 below. It's your covenant code, your sign of divine alignment. They didn't believe in you because they couldn't see what I hid. I didn't blind them to punish you. I blinded them to protect the oil. If they had seen the full measure of your calling, they would have tried to control it. So I concealed you in plain sight. But now, the veil is lifting. What I hid, I am now highlighting. And what was hidden in obscurity is rising in authority. You are my unveiling. The two behind you were never random. They were woven into the pattern of your purpose. They may not understand everything about your journey, but they understand enough to stay, and I honor loyalty in hidden places. That's why they'll eat the fruit of your obedience. You will not rise alone, you will rise with those I assigned. Not many, but mighty. Not loud, but locked in. Not casual, covenantal. Chosen one. The narrow line is not your punishment, it's your proof. The two that walk with you are enough because I am more than enough. I've stripped the unnecessary, pruned the unfruitful, and preserved the remnant. Now it's time. Walk boldly, lead without apology, and let the world see what happens when I stand with one, and bring two to witness glory. Chosen one, everything you've endured has led to this moment. Not a breakdown, but a breakout. You didn't survive to stay silent. You survived to be sent. I didn't strip you of people just to leave you empty. I cleared your space to fill it with glory. The line behind you may only hold two, but heaven surrounds you with legions. What I've placed in your spirit cannot be shaken, broken, or delayed any longer. You've been faithful with little, and now you will rule with much. Not because of ambition, but because of alignment. The reward is now. Every tear you wept in secret watered the roots of a harvest you're about to walk into. Every rejection was a redirection to something greater. I have not forgotten a single act of obedience. I will honor it publicly. The two behind you will not just walk in your shadow, they will walk in your overflow, and the world will see the power of a remnant that refused to fold. This is not the end of your preparation, it's the beginning of your demonstration. What's been brewing in silence is about to roar in the open. No one will be able to deny what I've done through you. Not because of your voice, but because of your fruit. I don't anoint performances, I anoint obedience, and your obedience has created a landing strip for miracles. I am releasing acceleration without compromise, authority without apology, glory without dilution, and all of it flows through the line I have sealed. Chosen one, lift your head. You are not the one who was left. You are the one who was launched. You carry the keys to unlock what generations could not. I chose you because you said yes when others said no. I trusted you because you endured when others escaped. The line behind you is not thin, it's thick with purpose. It's not short, it's sharp, and it's not broken, it's blessed.